All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another MUFC agenda video. Yes, that's a sour one. That one's going to sting, that one. Yes, obviously, Manchester United lose 4-3 to Tottenham Hotspur in the Carabao Cup quarter finals. 4-3. I thought it was on. I thought the comeback was on. If you watch the stream that we have just finished, you could tell that my juices were flowing. I mean, at one point, they were definitely not flowing. I thought it was game over. 3-0, I was like, this could be a get off early job. And then we scored one, and then you feel it. You know what Spurs are like. But Bayinde, what is he doing? I don't know. There's a lot to talk about from both sides when you want to start about goalkeeper mistakes. Fraser Forster on both of their goals. Yeah, both of our goals. Oh no, we scored the corner as well. On the first two, what is he doing? It's an awful pass on the first one, and obviously Bruno and Xerxes capitalise. And then on the second one, how long does he want? What does he think Ahmad's going to do? Have a coffee break while you wait to kick the ball? No, he's on him. We you know what I call him? I've done it since the Ipswich game. He's the bunny. He's constant threat when it comes to a press. Amad Diallo off the bench. I think it was a 1 goal and 1 assist, obviously off the corner, and the goal with him completely hunting down Fraser Forster. There was positives to take for Manchester United, no doubt. I mean, we looked better going forward, like actually getting up the pitch and getting into good positions. We looked better positionally wise. But again, it's same as the last few games. We just struggled with the final little pass, the final third, the final ball, whatever it is. Just that final little, the little cherry on top just to make these goals come in a little bit easier. And I know we scored 3, but it is Spurs, and they can crumble when under the pressure. So I don't know if it's more the fact that they've crumbled under the pressure and we've scored 3 goals, or that we are maybe improving. Maybe it's a bit of both, or maybe it's somewhere on either end of the spectrum. I'm not sure. But at least we have scored 3 goals, and like I said, there is positives to take. We do look better getting into the correct positions. It's just that final ball, that final little bit of quality to put the ball into the back of the net, especially in the first half. We had a few instances down the left-hand... Well, we had a lot of the ball down that left-hand side with Bruno and Dallo, where there was a few misplaced passes, and there was some good passes as well. Dallo, his crosses weren't the best, but his pullbacks to Ericsson, there was 3 of them that I can remember, and we should have scored at least one of them. Ericsson had a few chances where he just didn't get a good connection with the shot. I think on another given day, maybe he gets a good strike and he scores a goal or 2. But I mean, I suppose that's the game of football, game of inches really. And it was a close game. I know it's obviously shown by the 4-3, even though they did go 3-0 up at one point. In the first half, obviously, talking about the other goalkeeper, Bayinde, who was in goal for us. What was he doing? I mean, come on. It wasn't just him who was at fault. I'll talk about another player who's at fault and has been in question, apart from on the weekend, has been in question a lot throughout this season since he's come back from international duty. But we'll talk about Bayinde first. What is he doing on that first goal? What I will say is Pedro Porro should have been closed down earlier. Højlund does try and get out to him, but he should have been closed down a lot earlier. That shot shouldn't be coming off. And when it does come off, Bayinde should be pushing that out wide. Pushing that back out into a dangerous area. The shot's not in that awkward position. You should be pushing it for a corner or just pushing it so far wide that Solanke can't shoot because it's a very tight angle. But then also, the defending on that, no one reacting to the second ball, no one chasing it down to stop or block Solanke from getting that shot in. And what a striker does best is he capitalises on the mistakes made from both defender and goalkeeper. Then we're going to talk about the 4th goal. What on earth is he doing on that corner? It's not good, is it? It's not good at all. It's really poor, actually, if we're being blunt. If we're being blunt, it's poor. And it's a shame because he doesn't get an opportunity very often. However, I think we might know why he doesn't get an opportunity very often, because maybe he's just not as good as Onana. And, Onana's had a few clangers in the last few weeks, but I know for a fact that he would have punched that out because he likes to get a fist on it, especially when it's near that area. Maybe there's sometimes you can question Onana's claiming skills when it's a little bit further out, but if it was right there, you know what Onana does? He gets the double fist to it, or at least one fist, and it would have been cleared. It should have been a shame because potentially means it would have been 3-3, but maybe we don't score if they don't score their fourth. So you can't always count your chickens like that. But yeah, poor performance from Bayern there. And then got to talk about Martinez. We've been talking about Martinez. We said we've got eyes on him. That's what I've been saying. I've got eyes on him. But then he had a very good performance in the derby. A very good performance. And obviously getting the assist for Ahmad for the final goal. But we know he's very good on the ball. We know he's fantastic. His ball carrying and his passing into the channels. He did a few very nice ones. There was one that I remember to Garnacho, which was cut out the whole midfield. Played a beautiful ball into the left channel to Garnacho to run onto. But again, you question him defensively. First of all, which was it? Can't remember. I feel like he was at fault. Oh, yeah, he was at fault for the second goal. That second clearance, it wasn't only lazy, it was just poor. Sticking a leg out, that's amateur. That is amateur, just to stick your leg out and hope it doesn't fall. Well, I don't even know what you're hoping in that situation. You might as well just let it run through and hope it goes out for a corner. I can't quite remember what angle the ball was coming in at, but that is just amateur, just to stick your leg out and hope for the best. I mean, there's serious questions on him defensively since coming back from from Argentina on the international during the summer, because he was fantastic for them, and there was a lot of fans raving about him. And we've been raving about him. We know how good he is quality wise, but a few errors is coming into his game, and he's just not looking like he was in his first season. Is that due to injury, or maybe are we just seeing a bit more progression from the rest of the players, and then his quality defensively maybe getting exposed? I don't know. I don't want to judge and go in 100% on Martinez, but again, the eye gets sharper on him because I think he should have been doing better in this game. Obviously on the second goal, and then I feel like there was on the third goal as well. I'm pretty sure he kept him offside. The first 15 minutes for Martinez in the second half was woeful. He was still in the changing room. There was a few players that were still in the changing room, but he was in the toilets, and he'd only just gone in and only locked the door. That's how far away from the game he was. It just wasn't acceptable from him in the first 15 minutes of that second half, which is a shame because realistically those two mistakes from both goalkeeper and left centre back have cost us the game, really, because I thought we were slightly edge of the better team, but we got punished for mistakes, as did Tottenham. But when you make more mistakes, you normally can see more goals, and that is exactly what's happened. It was who made the last mistakes, and even though Tottenham made some big ones, they made less than us, so they ended up winning the game. And that is how it is sometimes at the top level. The quality of the game, I mean, it was an entertaining game. The actual quality was not impeccable, but I suppose that's what you get from Tottenham and United. They're both sitting around the middle of the table, but that's twice they beat us now. So hopefully in the league, when we go back to White Hart Lane or whatever it's called, is it, I don't know, it's called White Hart Lane anymore. Is it Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? I don't know what it's called, but whatever it is, hopefully we can beat them, because the one in the league for me is miles more important, and hopefully we can go on to winning the game against Bournemouth, because again I think that one's slightly more important, because winning the Carabao Cup doesn't really mean much. We've seen that in the past now with Eric Ten Hag. It can actually blind a few things. Maybe in some way it's a positive that we've got knocked out, because it shows the fact that we're still making some silly errors that are costing us results. But there was a few positives. There was definitely a few positives. I thought Ugarte was sensational in that first half. Yoro looks bright. Definitely looks bright. But I think we should do what we're still doing with him. Just ease him into the team. We don't have to rush him. We don't have to rush him at all. Same with Mainu. We don't have to rush him into the team. Eriksen looked good in the first half, but then in the second half, his legs just looked like they'd gone. That's what what we get with Eriksen. He's got the quality for a very small amount of time now in a Premier League pitch. Or, I know it wasn't a Premier League game, but it was a Premier League, basically was, you know what I mean? Both two Premier League teams. But yeah, definitely some positives. The system is definitely going to work. I think a few signings, definitely a left-footed left wing-back could change massively, and then maybe a 10, maybe another number 9, because I feel like we do need 2 solid number 9s, and I know Xerxes came off the bench and scored, but yeah, I do feel like even 3 number 9s. I mean, back in the day we had Andy Cole, Dwight York, Eddie Sheringham, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Therefore, absolutely top-notch, and I know we played 2 strikers back in the day, but still. You've got one that can play in the 10 and the striker, so why don't you get 2 out-and-out number 9s, and then Xerxes can float between striker and 10. You know what I mean? Maybe you do that. There's plenty of things that we can work on, But I'm going to take the positives. Obviously, we got knocked out of the Carabao Cup, but hopefully that could be a blessing in disguise. A few less games. I mean, 3 less games to the season, I suppose. Maybe we just take it as a positive. We lose 4-3 in what was probably an absolute thriller for the neutrals. And I hope you enjoyed it. But we'll get on to player ratings because I was actually expecting this to be a little bit shorter than it was. By India, you get a 3 for me. I could be harsher, but I'll give you a 3. The reason we've lost this game is basically because of you, pal. Yoro, I'll give him a 6.5. I don't want to go too crazy, too hasty. I thought he had a very solid game. But I don't want to pile on the pressure. I thought he had a very good, solid game. 6.5. Obviously, Lindelof came off very early. So I'll just give him a 5. Martinez, 4. I think that's generous, to be honest. I think that those 15 minutes in the second half cost us, as well as Bayinde. So a 4 for Martinez, 3 for Bayinde. Mazraoui didn't really do anything wrong. Solid again. It's just a solid, average performance for Mazraoui. You know, you don't get anything below a 6, so it's a 6 for me for Mazraoui. Ugarte, a 7.5. I thought Ugarte was fantastic in the midfield. 7.5 for Ugarte. Ericsson was probably a 6 in the first half and a 5 in the second half, so I'll give him a 5. No, he's actually very good in the first half. 6.5 maybe in the first half. Oh, I'll give Ericsson a 6. But I think going forward, he was fantastic defensively. You know, there's a bit of an issue there. So maybe it's a 5.5. Yeah, I'll give 5.5 for Ericsson. Dalot he was getting himself in very good positions, but his crossing again. The fact that he's not left-footed just doesn't help because he can't whip a ball in first time on that left foot. He's got to cut in every time. And then when he does hit it on his left foot, it's never very good. So I'll give Dalot a 5.5 as well. Obviously, for me, 5 and 6 is somewhere around the average. So it was an average performance. He got into good positions, but his final delivery just wasn't quite it, which is a shame. Anthony, I didn't recognise him. I'll give him a 5. Just below average, probably. Just didn't really get into the game at all. Bruno, I thought was had a very good first half. Didn't really notice him much second half, so I'll probably give him a 6. No, I'll probably give him a 5.5 as well, actually. Him and Ericsson were similar. He was getting into good positions as well as Ericsson, but again, his final ball and his final output wasn't quite on point. And we needed him, and he didn't quite show up in the way that he sometimes does. So for me, 5.5. That shows what my opinion. And then Højlund wasn't really in the game, similar to Anthony, so I'll give him a 5. People off the bench. Ahmad obviously off the bench gets a 7.5 as well as Ugarte. Comes off the bench, gets a goal and an assist. Puts unbelievable pressure, gets the comeback. Well, Xerxes gets the comeback going. Who gets a 6.5 from me? Does a job. He gets a 7 as well. He did a few things that impressed me, dropping back and winning tackles and then holding up the ball when he needed to. He's definitely starting to warm into playing for United. He's getting better. I am seeing progress from Xerxes. Whether it'll be enough to stay at United long term or stay in the number 9 United long term, we'll see. But I am seeing better signs from Xerxes over the last few weeks. So yeah, let's say a 7 for him, 7.5 for Ahmad. Who else came off the bench? Garnacho came off the bench, didn't really do much. I'd just give him a 6. Who else came off the bench? Obviously, Johnny Evans came on for Lindelof. I'll give him a 6 as well. He was steady. I know we conceded some early goals, but I wouldn't really say they were his fault. And obviously, he scored as well. So yeah, is there anyone else who came off? Mainu came on off the bench as well. I'll give him a 6 as well. Similar to Johnny Evans, was steady, but didn't quite change the game as well as Ahmad and Xerxes. So yeah, they're on my match ratings. Some low ones, some decent ones. The bench nearly got us the comeback. But my man of the match, I suppose, I'll give to Ahmad because he's just a man for Manchester United at the moment, coming off the bench and getting a goal and assist. It's just becoming a regular thing now. But I don't have to get too excited. I knew the quality the kid had the day he stepped foot in the United shirt. So yeah, it's just all becoming a reality now. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Hopefully on the next one, on the next one we'll be doing the match preview for the Bournemouth game. That'll be up on Saturday, and then we'll be doing a match reaction just after the game on Sunday. And I'll see you, I suppose, at Sunday. I don't know what time kickoff is actually, but we'll be there for the Bournemouth game, and I hope I'll see you there too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.